to hurry up and turn this off. I forgot I was running it. Woo. Could be something that's copyrighted. And while I already got in trouble on unfortunately on TikTok, I'm not able to stream, maybe not this week at all. I think that Thursday it goes off at a certain point on the 24th, which is Thursday. My ban on TikTok. But that's just the way it is. When you're an outlier, or when you're a way shower, or you're out there bringing the truth, they don't like that. So they do block those individuals. And can't even remember what I was saying, but probably something about the stuff in the sky, or how that stuff is everywhere. And they don't like it when you say that. So you have to kind of say that it's all in satire, or that it's all some, what is it that they say now? This is for entertainment purposes only. Anything expressed here are my views, and my views solely. They are not, like, you have to make it seem like whatever you're sharing is questionable, because, or it's a joke, or it's made up, or it's fake, or whatever, because otherwise they will shut it down, because they can't have somebody having a difference in opinion where the opinion is the truth. They do not like that the truth, they know the truth sets you free, so they really don't like the truth. But that's not going to stop us. We're going to still plod on and do the truth. So I'm going to have a sip of tea, and then we're going to get started. Unfortunately, because not unfortunately, because I can't go live on TikTok as well, it's going to change a little bit of the dynamic, because normally I'm looking at two different screens, and this time I'll be looking at your screen. So that's one of the dynamics. And TikTok's usually more chatty, more interactive. So, that'll change the dynamics a little bit too. I'm just going to have a sip here, and then we'll get going. Today, we're going to be talking about your crystalline light body, about being sovereign. Yes. All right. Give me 1 second to deal with the backside thing. I want to switch. I have to do one of these things here. Give me my keyboard. Thank you. Sorry, we're just getting some backside stuff going here. And then just waiting for some visitors to show up before we get started. Which, we're not going to wait too long, though. I don't want to delay the start of it too much. Just 1 more minute. We'll see what's going on. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. No, I want to click it. That's funny. Good morning. Good morning. So like I said, we're just giving it a moment. I have some regulars who show up quite frequently, so I'm just giving them a moment to arrive. And if they're not here if it takes too long, then we'll just get going anyway. But in the meantime, I'm just doing some stuff down here, checking some email actually. But originally I signed into the wrong account. That's why I was laughing at myself. Beautiful. Alrighty. That was funny. Oh my goodness. Was that should be tried again? Should be tried again. We don't know why, but just do it again. It was just a funny. I haven't had that one before. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we're just about ready to get going here, regardless of anyone being there. I think some of the people from TikTok are not quite sure where I am this morning. But here I am. Here I am. And like I said, we're just about ready here to get started. I just have one thing. There. And beautiful. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. 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 Okay. So let's get started. Like I said, we were going to be talking about the crystalline body. Crystalline autonomy is what it's really all about today. So we're just going to get started, and I'm going to talk as if we have a room full of people, because, when it comes down to it, you're doing this for you. It should always be for you, not necessarily what's going on outside of you. And you show up for yourself. You're not talking to people, you're talking to timelines. Okay. So let's think of it as you are, you're affecting your timeline. You're affecting your position by continuing to show up for yourself. So welcome. Today we anchor the frequency of crystalline autonomy, a return to the sovereign flame within. The savior complex is not a simple belief. It is an energetic overlay seated in times of trauma that waits for rescue instead of activating truth. It appears as the desire for external answers, right? For others to pave the way, for someone to speak first. There's so many ways that it shows up, right? That hoping that someone's going to save us, and they've built that into society in so many different ways, in thinking that everything, including your health, is found outside of you. You give your autonomy away to a doctor, some stranger in a white coat who you hope is helping you. You give your self away, your freedoms away in a lot of different ways, right? And a lot of times, before we even make decisions, we go and talk with our friends, we go and talk with our loved ones, we counsel people, because we're hoping that somebody's going to give us the right answer, and it's just going to ring like a clear bell, and we'll move in that. But we're just giving away our sovereignty, and it's often because of the traumas that we've experienced. But you're not here to wait. You're not here to follow. You are here to lead, first within and then without. So to lead yourself inherently first. And when you're leading yourself, then you begin to lead others as well. And not in the way that we think of traditional leading. So every time you hesitate to act because you're afraid to get it wrong, because you believe somebody else knows more, or you feed the very system that taught you to stay small. Every time that you go and you're like, I can't make the decision until I go and talk to people about it, or, I have to make sure that somebody outside of me says that it's okay, or, you just defer decisions and things like that. The longer that you do that, the more that you're going to stay in the position that the system wants you to be in, which is to remain small. But your higher self did not incarnate for smallness. And I will use Oversoul as well as higher self, but they are interchangeable. So your Oversoul did not incarnate for smallness. You chose to incarnate during this timeline with a plan to restore divine harmony, divine command through embodiment, right? You gave yourself things that you wanted to accomplish, basically. within this lifetime. And so when you have that dream and you have that desire that's outside of you for something more, and you feel like that's, that's inherently meant for you, it's because it is. You assigned it to yourself. It's already yours. That's why you have the drive for it, or the desire for it. So as the new, so you're not here to be saved. Sorry, you are not here to be saved. And if you're waiting for that, you're going to be waiting a really long time. Whether you're waiting for, savior in the sense of, someone to save us from, say, the financial space that we're in, or save us from the emotional space that we're in, or save us from our trauma, or save us from the world and the way that it is right now, right? There's a lot of concepts about, the second coming of Jesus Christ and how it's going to, there's going to be this big savior. But that's not what it is. It is you embodying the Christ consciousness, and being an embodiment of that. That's what saves you. It's not somebody coming along and saving you. And that's what brings that back to earth, is us, each individual, embodying that consciousness, instead of what is going on within the world now, which would be more of an anti-Christ consciousness. And in that sense, we would call it an anti-Christ, because the Christ in and of itself is not in alignment with Christ, right? It's supposed to be Christ, but we've been taught to call it the Christ. So we're going to do a little bit of checking in, right? We always do some energy work during the show. So the first thing that we're going to do is some Oversoul Breathwork. We're going to take our hands and we're going to place our hands on our solar plexus, which is just in between your umbilical and your rib cage. If you place your hands there, it'll cover up that. It's in the right space. And you're just going to inhale through the nose for a count of 5, nice and slowly, and then exhale slowly through the mouth for a count of 5. And as we're doing this, we're just going to visualize a golden spiral of your oversoul light, or your higher self light, descending through your crown, so at the top of your head, and settling into your solar plexus, so where you're holding. And it's going to settle in there like this beautiful radiant sun. And as you feel that, you're going to feel your core activate. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to start with those breaths in and out. Okay, so inhale deeply through the nose for a count of 5. Then exhale for a count of 5. Inhale for a count of 5. Exhale. Inhale for a count of 5. Exhale for a count of 5. And I hope that at the same time you're envisioning your beautiful oversoul as a golden spiral, spiraling through your crown down into your solar plexus. But if not, just continue to breathe and visualize that now. And if you're already visualizing that, continue to visualize that beautiful golden light spiraling through your crown all the way down to your solar plexus and lighting up a beautiful golden sun in your solar plexus. Feel that radiating outward into your space. And we're just going to speak aloud. I reclaim my center. I no longer give it away. I lead from within. Okay. And that's it. That's it. That's our oversoul connection. Just breathing in our oversoul, connecting with ourselves, doing some centering and balancing. And that's it. You can come back whenever, whenever you want. All right. So our core teaching is the savior victim dynamics and spiritual bypass. We have inherited spiritual systems that romanticize surrender and disempowerment. There's so many spaces where that's seeded. I mean, Disney was founded on the concept of women needing saving from the prince, right? All these prince and princess dynamics where the girl just needed to be rescued. And this all through our, pop culture and through romance and, all of those things where somebody's saving you. And if it isn't you being saved as a female by a man, or as a princess by a prince, or is you being saved by the government, or you being saved by superheroes, or there's something external to us that does the saving in most times. And that savior complex is ingrained within our society because of it. So these systems teach that virtue through helplessness and holiness through sacrifice, right? So we get our virtue through being helpless. We get our holiness through sacrificing ourselves. So from religious martyrdom to new age passivity, so we're in the age of it's all fine. It's all fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's okay. It's okay. It's all fine. Yep. Yep. Happy, happy. It's all positivity, positivity. And while having a positive mindset is very important, you also have to be rational and realistic about the experiences that you're having and transmute that energy. It's not just about bypassing everything and going straight to it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. The world's on fire all around me. It's chaos and confusion, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Right. And so that's another part of that, a savior complex that's happening right now. So what ends up happening with the savior complex is that it keeps our power scattered, it keeps our action frozen, and it keeps our higher self waiting outside the gates of the body. It manifests when we wait for a guru, a partner, a sign, a divine intervention to give us permission to act. Right. So if we're waiting for to do something because we need somebody to teach us something, we need somebody to open us up to something, we need somebody to help us figure something out, right? That's us immediately giving away our power. There's always some small movement that you can take on your own. And even if that movement is to sit in stillness and connect to your higher self, to connect to the moment, to silence the noise, to connect to just that breath, even that is powerful rather than running around and seeking something outside of yourself to save you or to heal you or to help you. So what happens is it hides behind spiritualized language, like when the time is right, or if it's meant to be, it will happen, or I'm waiting on guidance, right? So where there's that pause and like you're waiting for something to happen. And sometimes we get trapped in thinking like, I have to be, super, people will show their gifts in different ways. And if you're comparing yourself to how someone else is showing you their gifts and whether they're false light or true light, you might not even be looking at that. You might be just looking at, look at this person seems really in connection with higher guides, or this person seems to be channeling Saint Germain or all of these people, but you don't know what they're really channeling, right? You're giving your trust away to somebody who's saying, this is what I'm channeling, without really knowing for certain that that's who they're channeling. So if you sit in silence and connect with yourself, maybe you'll channel something that's channeled directly to you, as opposed to going through an intermediary or bypassing your own guidance, right? So we have to be careful giving that away, right? I'm waiting on guidance, or I'm waiting for everything to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. And what is perfect, right? So it's more about just taking little actions, but some actions towards your goals, some action in the way that you need to go. So your guidance is already inside of you. Your higher self does not want you to wait. It wants you to initiate. The savior complex also includes the inverse, feeling responsible to save others. So this is where we go from looking at somebody to save us, where we take the role of thinking we need to save everybody else. So I did this. I stepped through this space on my healing journey because once I'd done a significant part of healing my trauma, I was like, I'm going to save everybody. I'm going to save my mom, and I'm going to save my brother, and I'm going to save my kids, and I'm going to save everybody. I'm going to save I'm going to save everybody. And it doesn't work that way. The only person that can save you is you. But that responsibility was there. I'm feeling like I had to do these things. So the martyr role becomes a trap because it keeps you locked in karmic loops, drained by those who benefit from your disempowerment. So to break this cycle, we must recognize where we collapse our power into waiting. So are we deferring it for perfection, waiting for guidance, waiting for some guru to come in and teach us, waiting for some savior to come and save us? Is that where we're collapsing into waiting? We need to release attachments of being rescued or rescuing either side of the fence that you're on. It's not your role to save anybody, and nobody's coming to save you. It's your role to save yourself. And through saving yourself, you could become a beacon of hope. You could show people what's possible. You could, give your experience, your knowledge, which hopefully will, cue in theirs. There's lots of things that you can do through as you're rescuing yourself, right? When we let go of rescuing everybody else. And then it's re-anchoring into that divine neutrality and embodied action, right? So everything in life is an experience, and we came down here to experience it. And if you're taking steps towards your goals and your dreams and what you desire in life, and I'm not talking about desiring the next, fancy bag or the next brand new vehicle, or anything like that. I'm talking about like these inherent soul desires that you have. But as you're moving towards doing those things, you are embodying those moments. You're stepping in the direction of your dreams, and every step that you take in the direction of those dreams, you are getting closer to it, and things are going to happen. It's that taking action that needs to happen, right? So you're not here to save anyone. You are here to embody divine example. So you're just meant to embody the example of, and then people see through the example of what you're embodying, right? What you're embodying. And you, by doing that, by embodying the very thing, you liberate the grid for all. So it's about being a grid worker as well. Like every one of us are. As you raise your vibration, you raise the vibration of Mother Gaia herself. You raise the frequency in the environments that you're in as you walk around with the energy that you're holding within your body. So we're going to do this practice. It's a somatic practice, and it's called Reclaiming Your Inner Throne. So it's a really short practice, but we're gonna check it out. And it's so to start with it, you can stand or sit up nice and tall. And when you're just going to close your eyes, and this is just a visualization. Somatic is about the body. It's bottom up. So we're just visualizing this beautiful golden crystalline throne emerging from the earth beneath you. You're going to feel it lock into your spine. Okay, this is your crystalline throne. It's not mine. It's not the other people that are watching. It's not your family's. This is just yours, right? So it locks into your spine. Once it does, just begin swaying or moving, right? You're just moving your body. You're just feeling yourself, and just awakening your pelvis and your spine. That's all we're doing, right? So we're sitting in this big throne, and we're just moving back and forth. But like, yeah, this is my chair. Mine. No. We're just moving our body. We're just activating it. Okay. And now we're just going to touch our chest and our solar plexus. Okay. And when you're ready, you can just say this: I am seated in my center. No one can dethrone me. Okay. Now you're going to lift your arms overhead. So you're drawing the light down into the body as if crowning yourself with divine authority. So you're sitting on your throne. You've just claimed your power back, right? I am seated in my center. No one can dethrone me. So you've called your sovereignty back. And you're just allowing that beautiful light to come in. Okay, so you can do this practice whenever you need to feel more in your power. And it's just your personal crystalline throne that arises from the earth beneath you. You feel it lock into your spine. You move on it like, this is my seat. This is mine. It's just the movement of the body, really connecting in with the body is why we're doing that. And then you're just touching your chest and your solar plexus, repeating the affirmations of, I am seated in my center. No one can just dethrone me. And if you want, then you can allow that light to channel into yourself and actually put your arms above your head as if you're crowning yourself with light. Okay, so that's a dethrone. That's the reclaiming your inner throne somatic practice that you can do. All right, so we got some questions and answers that we're going to go through. So number one, Why do I wait to be chosen? So why are you waiting for someone to come and save you? Or why are you waiting for someone to say you can do this, or this is the direction that you should head into, or like for somebody to basically see your light before you can embody it? Why is that? Well, it's because the nervous system was trained to seek external permission. Think about as a child how you were taught very much to ask for permission, that all of the stuff, like we were created. And if you want, look at one of the sessions from last week. I can't remember if it was the Tuesday or Thursday, but it could be kind of in both of them. But check out those ones because they are about obedience, right? And how we have signed up for all of this obedience through what we've been cultured in with society, or how society has directed us, right? So all of the stuff that we've learned, it's listen to your elders, it's we've got policing in place, we've got all these laws and rules and order and structure that's around us. So it's like you go to school to learn to behave, to learn to work, to learn like there's all. So it's when you sit and think about how we've been created to be obedient, our nervous system was trained to seek external permission. So the more that you affirm your worth through action, the less you wait for validation. Say that one again. The more you affirm your worth through action, the less you'll wait for validation. When you take action, you're not sitting there going, "Oh, should I do that?" Like just do it. Just do it. So what if I fear rejection when I lead, right? Many of us have rejection wounding, and it's one of the things that they've gathered into the ADHD diagnosis is the hypersensitivity to rejection. But many of us have abandonment wounds from parents that got divorced, or from being moved, or from losing somebody when we were in that very developmental stage of 0 to 7. So what if I fear rejection when I lead? Most of us will, right? But let that be your practice, right? We came here to grow through the challenges. Those challenges that we overcome, they're our best teachers. The shadow in your trauma is the best teacher that you're ever going to have. You're going to get the most growth, and you're going to become more aligned with yourself when you face those shadows rather than run away from them. So let this be your practice. Speak anyway, lead anyway. Rejection is not an ending, it's a clearing. And your higher self, your oversoul, will always bring you to those who are ready. So you're always going to be divinely aligned with certain people. And even if it's a moment where you seem to have lost a lot of people, because I've went through that recently, it's usually during a level up when you start to shed layers, because those people aren't meant to come with you on the entire journey. It's the concept of the rocker and the booster packages and how they fall away and the rocket continues on, because they weren't meant to go for the entire journey. They were to assist to a certain point. And it's very much the same with your lessons, right? With people that come along and people that leave. Just look at those clearings that you're experiencing in your life as happening for the betterment of you. And if it's a really in a moment where there seems to not be a lot of people around, take that moment of silence and allow yourself to do whatever it is that you need to do to move yourself forward in the direction of your dreams, and know that the people that you need are going to be there when you need them. There's a void space that can happen sometimes, and just embrace that void space. So what if I don't feel qualified to lead yet? And a lot of people get stuck on this. They're like, well, how do who am I? Imposter syndrome is what they call it a lot of the time. But this is the thing. Sovereignty doesn't wait for perfection. It initiates through action. You claim your power when you move in the direction of your goals, when you're doing the embodiment of your will, right? Then that expands. So begin with what you know and just keep working in that dream and embody more of it as you go, right? As you learn more and more things, incorporate them more into your day as a way to move you further ahead, as an example. So, one of the things, make sure that you're doing your energy practices. So how do I tell the difference between my oversoul's command and ego control? So your higher self speaks from stillness and clarity. It liberates. It's not going to keep you trapped in a small space. It's going to talk to you in peace and, well, I guess.
Okay. Besides garlic, do we need anything else?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm taking Barb shopping.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I wanted to interrupt.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
Sorry. All righty, get back to where we were when I figure out where I was. So your higher self speaks from stillness and clarity, right? It liberates you. It's going to free you from being trapped. It's going to, it's going to bring beauty. And it's not that it comes in an easy way necessarily. Like, it's not that your oversoul or your higher self isn't going to take you on a path that's not going to challenge you, that's not going to, allow you to grow, but it's not deep end, right? It's not going to take you off a cliff. It's not going to do those things. It's liberating. The ego control grasps, manipulates, or seeks validation. So your higher self isn't in this for the validation. It isn't in it for the accolades. It isn't in it for, for those things. It's in it because this is my knowledge, my wisdom. This is my what I'm creation, what I want to create, what I'm meant to create. This is what I'm going to bring. And that's what your oversoul is this. I'm going to help you to do those things. I'm going to help you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. When it's in alignment with you, I'm going to help you, and it's to be a very easy way. It's going to be a very direct way. It's not going to be, and it might make you step up and speak. It might make you do those things, but it's never pushing you off a cliff or anything. But it's not. And when you think about the ego wants you to speak because maybe the ego wants you to get a lot of money, or it might want you to speak because it wants you to get a fancy title or a fancy name or something like that. Right. And that's not what we want. Our higher self is going to want you to speak because what you have to share is important. It will want you to move forward because of what you're meant to create is going to benefit society. It's going to benefit the collective. So there's going to be a different motivation behind what you're bringing. And that's how you understand the difference between the ego driving it or the higher self driving it, as an example. So if your actions create freedom for both you and others, it's an aligned action. It's an easy way to determine that. So if what I'm doing is actually going to help me and society, is going to create freedom, right? When you look at healthcare, and this is entertainment value, but if you're looking at healthcare, if they create you to be a consistent customer over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, they're not concerned with your freedom. They're not concerned with you being liberated from their services. So then it's not in alignment with you. There's something that's wrong with that system because it's keeping you cycling. And anyone that you work with, if you choose to work with someone that's, a healer, a spiritualist, a coach, a teacher, anything, it doesn't matter what it is. If it keeps the cycle where you never feel that you're liberating yourself, that you're never, you're not freeing yourself from whatever it is that you're seeking them for, that in and of itself shows you that it's under the false light category. Okay. So how do I hold my center when others challenge my authority? Challenges are initiations. It's the same thing as a rejection. Rejection can be such a protection, but the rejection is also allowing you to just clear things that are no longer aligned. Well, the same thing that happens when someone's challenging your authority, you have the opportunity to grow so much within those spaces because they are these initiations. And the more that you remain rooted in your breath and aligned with your higher self and grounded in the truth, the less that you're going to be reactive, right? If you know it's your truth and somebody's like, if I was to sit there and say, I absolutely 110%, like 100%, we don't have to go beyond 100%. I 100% believe in my higher self and in my mission. Someone could come up and say, oh, I think you're full of crap about higher self. Like you're just, like you're just a person and there's no spirit, there's no life after. I'm not going to get into an argument with them about it. I'm not going to be, reactive to that in a big way. I'm just going to disregard what they say because it doesn't align with my truth. And I know it's not true. For me, it's not true. Just like, and it would be probably a waste of my time to try to force that on anyone else, but I'm not going to be reactive about that. Right. And so your center becomes your sanctuary, not your battleground. So you want to return to the center, to peace and sovereignty and your knowing, right? Connecting to that higher self. So you should be checking in and doing these little connections, whether it's through having a formalized meditation practice or just doing, daily check-ins with your higher self. They're important, right? The more that you check in, the more that you're going to hear your higher self, right? The stronger that the connection is going to be. Okay. So we're going to do this embodiment declaration, and the embodiment declaration is for you to stand or sit nice and tall. If you can stand, right? But we're standing, even if we're sitting, in our full light. And we're just going to take a breath in and out. We're going to put our hands either on our solar plexus or we're going to stretch them out wide. And we're just going to speak. I am the command. I am the current. I am the core. Let your spine lengthen so you're nice and tall, nice, perfect posture right now. Your spine feels so nice and tall. We're just letting our light stabilize, shine bright like a diamond. Okay. This is your sovereign signature. Very nice. Okay. So what we've got now, we've got a couple of journal prompts that I want to leave you with. So in your journal, take a few moments of stillness and reflect. I still wait for others to fill in the blank before I fully lead. So, it could be checking in with somebody. It could be one person in your life that you defer your authority to. It could be that, you have to run by decisions, past your parents or past your sibling or past your friends or past your partner, right? Or something else. There could be something else, right? Maybe you need to have you have to wait for others to invite you to lead before you feel like you can fully lead, where they actually say, no, you need to be the leader. You're the one. So anyway, spend some time journaling on that one. The next one is, I give my power away when I blank. So where do you give your power away, or how do you give away your power throughout the day, whether that's at work or whether that's in your personal life, but just in life in general? I give my power away when I blank. The final one is, today I reclaim my command by blank, right? Today I reclaim my command by blank. So what can you do today to reclaim your sovereignty, to reclaim your voice, to reclaim your leadership, right? To reclaim your freedom. So let your answers be honest and let them be raw, right? Let them initiate new momentum. You're not here to delay your embodiment. You are here to live it now. You totally are. You totally are. How's everybody doing? Make sure that you like the live. Appreciate that for those that are watching. And if you've got comments, I'm always open to comments. It's meant to be interactive. But seeing as nobody's interacting heavily right now, I'm just going to do the closing. Okay, so the closing is the prompt that we gave you with the journal prompts and everything else, but it's also to deepen your anchoring into sovereignty. And I just do want to invite you to download the Embodiment Codes of Power journal. And this is a fully online fillable journal. It's inside the Temple of Light, which is a free group, membership group that I have on my website, Anshara'El.com. So same as the YouTube name that we have, Anshara'El.com. And if you go there, the free group, you do have to, become a member of the group, but there's zero cost to it. And I post tons of things in there, whether that's activations, it could be journal prompts or a full journal like this one here, and other stuff. So it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful space. There's other groups that are there as well. So, and these ones are paid membership groups starting at $11.11 and going, I think, as high as maybe $44.44. Yes, the Christic Mastery Circle is $44.44. So when you're ready to walk at a deeper level, definitely think about those. The Ascension Path or the Ascension Gateway is the 11.11 one, and I post extra content in there and education, like public teaching series content within there. In the Guardian Gate or the Guardian Pathway, I actually do one live in there per month where it's either a big activation or it could be grid work or something like that. And then when you're in the Christic Mastery Circle, and each group has access to the lower group. So once you become part of the Ascension Gateway, you get for 11.11, you get the Ascension Gateway. When you become a part of the Guardian Pathway, you get the Guardian Pathway and the Ascension Gateway. And when you become a member of the Christic Mastery Circle, you get the Christic Mastery Circle, the Guardian Pathway, and the Ascension Gateway. So you stay within membership within those groups and get all of those access. But there's lots of stuff within those groups, and there's other groups that are available there. I also do one-on-one sessions. Many of my books are also linked there as ebooks, so you can save some of the price and have it on your device as a PDF. And I do have a book there called The Divergence Code, which is all about the hidden truths, the hidden divine truth about ADHD and neurodivergent souls. It has a lot of practical activities that you can use. And most of my children's, actually, I think most of my children's books are up there. But you can also find them all on Amazon.com, either under Tanya Baldwin or Sha'Ryah An'Lorian. There's no apostrophe in the An'Lorian in the books that are on Amazon. So just keep that in mind if you're searching that. But all of that is linked on my in my website as well. And so that's it. I love you guys. Sorry for well, I shouldn't be apologizing for the ban that TikTok put on me because they felt that what I was saying was too controversial, too truthful. So anyway, we just know now to make sure that we're just doing a little bit of, this is for entertainment purposes only. Either way, there's education available. There's lots of stuff available at the website. Go and check it out. I love you. I'll be back here on Thursday with more wonderful knowledge, education, and activation stuff. But just know that the gates are open. Your throne awaits. You are the command. You are the current. You are the core. All right. And have a beautiful day. Yeah, I was going to, you know what? We'll pull a card. We'll pull a mastery card. One mastery card before I take off today. I usually do it at the beginning, but I forgot. Look at that. Long weekend. And, well, there's only one all of them fell, but one fell up. So, Kuthumi, I open myself to the source of all that is. I open myself to the source of all that is. I open myself to the source of all that is. That's your mantra today. If you want to activate Kuthumi into your life, or, empower yourself in that way. So you have a beautiful day, and we will catch you on Thursday right back here on YouTube at approximately 10:44. And have a beautiful day. Mwah. Love you.